It's been over 3 decades since Crocodile Dundee first captured audiences with its iconic humor, outback adventure, and unforgettable characters. The film series didn't just make stars out of Paul Hogan and Linda Kozlowski, it cemented a place in movie history as one of the biggest hits of the 80s. But where are the stars now? From Hollywood success stories to life away from the spotlight, here's a look at the lives of the Crocodile Dundee cast 36 years after they became cultural icons. Find out who stayed in showbiz, who took a different path, and what surprises they might have in store in 2024. Linda Kozlowski was born on January 7, 1958 and played Sue Charlton, a savvy New York journalist and love interest to Mick Dundee, in Crocodile Dundee at 28 years old. Kozlowski trained at the Juilliard School, and while Crocodile Dundee brought her global fame, her career never fully took off. Her on-screen romance with Hogan blossomed into a real-life relationship, leading to their marriage in 1990 and the birth of their son, Chance. Despite their chemistry, Kozlowski faced challenges with the intense spotlight and the limitations of Hollywood roles, as she struggled to break free from the shadow of her Crocodile Dundee fame. In 2014, she and Hogan divorced after 23 years, with Kozlowski citing incompatible lifestyles and a desire for a quieter existence away from the film industry. Since then, Kozlowski has stepped away from acting and has embraced a more private life, exploring interests outside Hollywood. Now 66, she enjoys a sense of peace and anonymity, occasionally making public appearances but largely focused on personal well-being. John Meillon, born on May 1, 1934, was 52 years old when he portrayed Walter Riley, Mick Dundee's loyal friend and comedic relief in Crocodile Dundee. Meillon began his career as a child actor on Australian radio, eventually establishing himself in theatre and film. Known for his distinct Australian drawl and mastery in roles that captured Australian humour and ruggedness, Meillon starred in films like The Sundowners and Wake in Fright. Despite his success, Meillon's life was marred by personal struggles, including a battle with alcoholism that took a toll on his health and relationships. Married twice, his first marriage to actress June Salter ended in divorce, leaving him with an estranged relationship with his son. His second marriage also faced difficulties, and he often found himself battling inner demons amid professional demands. Tragically, the toll of years of heavy drinking led to his premature death from cirrhosis on August 11, 1989, at 55. David Bracks, born in 1949, brought rugged authenticity to the role of Bert, or Roo Shooter, in Crocodile Dundee. Playing Bert at 37, David embodied the hearty, self-reliant spirit of the Australian Outback, adding an adventurous edge to the film. David's early years were filled with dreams of a stable acting career, but his journey was marked by the unpredictability of an industry that frequently left him in search of work. Outside of acting, he took on numerous jobs, from labor work to temporary roles in the arts, to make ends meet, and these struggles took a toll on his personal life. He married and had 2 children, but his marriage faced strains over financial instability and his challenging career. The marriage ended in divorce, and David took on the responsibility of raising his children alone, often struggling to balance work with family. Now 74, David leads a quiet, reflective life, grateful for his brief brush with fame but aware of the personal sacrifices his career demanded. Paul Hogan, born on October 8, 1939, rose to international fame with his portrayal of Mick Crocodile Dundee in Crocodile Dundee at the age of 46. He left school at a young age and worked as a rigger on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. The Australian television industry gave him a chance when he appeared on New Faces, sparking a comedic career that led to the creation of the lovable, bush-savvy character Mick Dundee. Hogan's fame skyrocketed with Crocodile Dundee, but his personal life remained complicated. He married Nolene Edwards twice, first in 1958 and then again after a brief separation in the early 1980s, only to divorce once more in 1986. Together, they had 5 children, though the family often struggled with Hogan's busy career and legal issues, including a protracted legal battle with the Australian Tax Office. Hogan later married his Crocodile Dundee co-star Linda Kozlowski in 1990, and they had a son, Chance. Yet this union, too, ended in divorce in 2014, as Kozlowski found the Hollywood lifestyle too isolating. Now 85, he lives a quieter life in the United States, grappling with the highs and lows of his stardom. Mark Blum, born on May 14, 1950, was a seasoned actor who took on the role of Richard Mason in Crocodile Dundee, 1986, playing Sue Charlton's polished, skeptical boyfriend. At 36, Mark infused Richard with a sophisticated yet insecure persona, providing a sharp contrast to Mick Dundee's carefree charm and rugged appeal. Mark's acting career included a notable presence in theater, film, and television, with appearances in Desperately Seeking Susan and Law and Order. Yet, despite his visible success, his career was marked by struggles with job stability and the relentless pursuit of acting opportunities, which strained both his finances and his relationships. Mark married actress Janet Zarish, but the demanding nature of their work often kept them apart, leading to an emotionally distant relationship. They had no children, and Mark found solace in his theatrical work, yet often felt a sense of isolation within the industry. His life took a tragic turn when he contracted COVID-19 in early 2020. On March 26, 2020, he passed away at age 69 due to complications from the virus. David Gulpilil, born on July 1, 1953, was a groundbreaking actor known for his portrayal of Neville Bell in Crocodile Dundee. At 33, he brought life to Neville, a wise and grounded Aboriginal Australian who helped guide Mick Dundee through the outback, adding a cultural depth that resonated deeply with audiences. Growing up in a remote Indigenous community, he mastered traditional customs and hunting, grounding his sense of identity. His rise to fame introduced him to challenges that were foreign to his early life, particularly as he battled alcoholism, a struggle that led to several legal issues and brief incarcerations. Despite these difficulties, he remained committed to advocating for Indigenous rights and representation in media. David married twice and had children, though his family life was complicated by his struggles with addiction and health issues. The last years of his life were especially difficult due to his diagnosis with lung cancer, which eventually took his life on November 29, 2021, at age 68. Michael Lombard was born on August 8, 1934, in Brooklyn, New York, USA. He portrayed Sam Charlton, Sue Charlton's father, in Crocodile Dundee at the age of 52. In the film, Sam is a wealthy newspaper owner whose influence in New York contrasts with the rugged world Mick Dundee comes from. Off-screen, Lombard's life was marked by periods of hardship. His parents divorced early, and his father was largely absent, leaving him and his siblings to grow up in relative poverty. Lombard struggled for years to establish a stable career, only gaining wider recognition later in life. He married twice, but both marriages ended in divorce, and he had one daughter, Kate, who struggled with health issues. Lombard's career was marked by high points, like his acclaimed roles in television dramas, but he faced setbacks due to typecasting and struggled with depression. Sadly, Michael Lombard passed away on August 13, 2020, at 86, having left behind a legacy in acting but a life punctuated by personal struggles. John Snyder was born on August 23, 1952, in Boston, Massachusetts, and took on the role of the pimp in Crocodile Dundee at 34. Snyder's character, a gritty street figure, reflects some of the struggles Snyder himself experienced. Growing up in a troubled neighborhood, Snyder witnessed violence and hardship from an early age, and these experiences often influenced his roles. His acting career was marked by brief successes, but he often struggled to land consistent work, leading to financial difficulties. Snyder married young but divorced within a few years and never remarried, preferring a quiet life focused on his craft. He had one son, Michael, whom he was estranged from for many years due to Snyder's career demands and financial instability. Despite these challenges, Snyder remains involved in acting at age 72, mostly in voice roles, though his journey has been filled with both acclaim and struggle. Anne Carlisle was born in 1956 in the United States. At the age of 30, she portrayed Gwendolyn, a cross-dressing prostitute, in Crocodile Dundee. Her portrayal of this eccentric character added a unique flavor to the film and became a memorable part of the storyline. And grew up in a conservative environment, but from an early age, she felt drawn to the world of art and performance. She moved to New York City to pursue acting and began making waves in avant-garde cinema. Despite her artistic successes, her career faced numerous challenges, including being typecast and struggling to find roles that matched her range. In her personal life, and faced turbulent relationships. She was briefly married but found it difficult to balance her bohemian lifestyle with the expectations of marriage. Tragically, she lost a close friend to cancer in the early 1990s, which deeply affected her. And also fought battles with addiction, which set back her career further. In recent years, she has turned to painting and living a more private life, now 68 years old. Caitlin Clarke, born on May 3, 1952, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, brought elegance and poise to the role of Simone in Crocodile Dundee. At 34, she embraced her character with a grace that left a memorable mark on audiences. Her acting career, however, was shadowed by struggles. Despite early critical acclaim in theater and in films like Dragonslayer, she faced the frustration of being typecast and her career never reached the heights she had hoped for. In her personal life, Caitlin remained single, focusing much of her time on her career and caring for her ailing mother, who passed away after a long illness. In her final years, she endured the emotional and physical toll of ovarian cancer, passing away on September 9, 2004, at 52. Her legacy is cherished by those who admired her quiet strength and dedication to her craft, even as she grappled with unfulfilled dreams and personal hardships. Reginald VelJohnson, born on August 16, 1952, in Queens, New York, played the role of Gus, a helpful limo driver in Crocodile Dundee, at age 34. VelJohnson brought warmth and humor to his role, which was a hit with audiences. However, his personal life was more challenging. Raised by a single mother after his father abandoned the family, VelJohnson pursued acting as an escape from a difficult childhood. Though he found success in Hollywood, especially in television, VelJohnson's private life was marked by struggles with acceptance and identity. VelJohnson remained unmarried, choosing to focus on his career. He faced periods of isolation, often feeling detached from the glamorous life around him. In his 50s, he battled serious health issues but recovered and returned to acting, continuing his work at 72. VelJohnson remains active in Hollywood, although his fame has been overshadowed by personal sacrifices and a solitary life. Francine was born on August 8, 1917, in Atlantic City, New Jersey. At 69, she played the role of Fran, a sophisticated character in Crocodile Dundee. Known for her work as an actress and cabaret singer, Anne's life was often a contrast of glamour and personal hardship. Despite a flourishing career, she faced deep personal loneliness. Her marriage ended in divorce, and she had no children to carry on her legacy. As the years went on, and saw many of her close friends, including her longtime confidant, Tallulah Bankhead, pass away, which left her feeling increasingly isolated. Throughout her life, she struggled with bouts of depression, which became more pronounced in her later years. In the 1990s, she had to cope with the death of her beloved sister, who had been her closest companion. Eventually, Anne's health began to deteriorate, culminating in a stroke that led to her death on December 3, 1999, at the age of 82. Danny Aiello III, born on January 27, 1957, in the Bronx, New York, gave life to the character Ali Goon in Crocodile Dundee, portraying a gritty streetwise figure with the rugged charisma he became known for. At 29, he was already well regarded in Hollywood not just as an actor but as a respected stuntman, a challenging role he inherited from his father, actor Danny Aiello. Despite his successful career, Danny battled feelings of living in his father's shadow and the strain this put on his relationships. He was married and had 2 children, but the constant pressure from work and travel weighed on his family life, leading to a divorce that deeply affected him. His life took a tragic turn when he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, a battle he fought with resilience but ultimately lost on May 1, 2010, at 53. His talent and dedication left an impact on both colleagues and fans, even as his life's final years were marked by loss and a painful, quiet struggle with illness. Ernie Dingo, born on July 31, 1956, portrayed the role of Charlie in Crocodile Dundee II. At the age of 32, Ernie played the friendly Aboriginal Australian character who aided Mick Dundee. However, Ernie's life off-screen has been marred by personal struggles. He grew up in a remote part of Western Australia, often facing the challenges of growing up in an isolated Indigenous community. His career had its share of highs and lows. While he achieved great recognition, there were periods when roles were scarce, and the pressure of being a pioneer for Aboriginal actors in the industry was overwhelming. In terms of his personal life, Ernie faced challenges in relationships, having been married twice, with both unions ending in divorce. He has 3 children, but his relationships with them have been strained over the years, leading to moments of isolation. Today, at 68, Ernie Dingo is still active in Australian television and film but continues to grapple with the aftereffects of his turbulent past. Paul Greco was born on October 21, 1955, in Newark, New Jersey. At age 31, he portrayed a streetwise New Yorker in Crocodile Dundee, adding a gritty realism to the New York City scenes. Paul had a rough childhood, growing up in a working-class neighborhood where he experienced firsthand the challenges of urban life. His early life was marked by hardship, and he often dreamed of escaping his environment through acting. He found some success in film, particularly in cult classics like The Warriors, but despite his talent, his career didn't reach the level he had hoped. Paul's personal life was turbulent, marked by a broken engagement and the pain of losing his brother to illness. Despite these setbacks, he remained committed to his craft, though his career never quite took off. Tragically, Paul was diagnosed with lung cancer, a battle that would cut his life short. He passed away on December 17, 2008, at the age of 53. Betty Bobbitt, born on February 7, 1939, brought the character Meg, tourist, to life in Crocodile Dundee II. At 49, Betty played the fun and adventurous American tourist who added humor and a fresh perspective to the story. Her character's curiosity and energy contrasted with the more rugged environment of the Australian Outback. Betty's personal life, however, was riddled with challenges. She was a bright star in the theater world but struggled in Hollywood, facing the stereotypical limits placed on women in the entertainment industry. Betty's early career was full of promise, but as she aged, roles became scarce, and she battled with a sense of professional decline. Her personal life was no less tumultuous. Betty married twice, with both marriages ending in divorce. She had one son, who tragically died in a car accident at the age of 22, an event that led to years of grief and emotional turmoil. She passed away on November 30, 2020, at the age of 81, due to complications from a stroke, leaving behind a quiet legacy in the world of film and television. Charles S. Dutton, born on January 30, 1951, portrayed Leroy Brown in Crocodile Dundee II. At the age of 37, Charles brought his powerful presence to the role of Leroy, a character who added a gritty realism to the film's depiction of urban toughness. However, Charles had a turbulent childhood, marked by his involvement in street life and a stint in prison, where he found his love for acting. His rise to fame came with struggles of its own, dealing with typecasting and personal demons, particularly in regard to substance abuse. In terms of relationships, Charles's romantic life has been far from smooth sailing. He has been married, but those relationships have not lasted, contributing to the complexity of his emotional state. Though his career flourished with critically acclaimed roles, including his portrayal in Crocodile Dundee II, he faced tough times in his personal life, and his battles with addiction and self-doubt overshadowed much of his success. Now, at 73, Charles has retired from acting and lives quietly, reflecting on the turbulent yet inspiring journey that brought him to where he is today. Gus Mercurio, born on August 10, 1928, played the character Frank in Crocodile Dundee II. At 60 years old, Gus portrayed a rugged, experienced individual who complemented Mick Dundee's journey with his own wealth of experience. Growing up in a working-class family, Gus struggled with the pressures of pursuing a career in acting, facing initial rejection and lack of opportunities. His career, though steady, never truly reached the peak he hoped for, and financial difficulties took their toll. Gus was married twice, but his first marriage ended in a painful divorce after years of turmoil. His second marriage to actress Mercurio lasted until his death, but it was no stranger to challenges. Gus had 3 children, with whom he had a complicated relationship, often due to his demanding work schedule. The death of his eldest son from an accidental overdose in the 1990s was a devastating blow, one that haunted Gus until his final days. Gus passed away on December 7, 2010, at the age of 82, after undergoing surgery, leaving behind a legacy in Australian television and film. Kenneth Welsh, born on March 30, 1942, played the role of Brannigan in Crocodile Dundee II, 1988. At the age of 46, Kenneth portrayed Brannigan, a character who embodied determination and resourcefulness, qualities that helped drive the adventurous narrative of the film. However, he faced a difficult family life, including a tumultuous marriage that eventually ended in divorce. The emotional toll of the split affected both his personal life and his career, and he struggled to find a sense of peace for many years. Despite a series of career successes, including in Crocodile Dundee II, Kenneth experienced periods of professional frustration, feeling undervalued and underappreciated by the industry. His life, full of passion for acting, was also marked by the early loss of loved ones and his own health struggles. The death of his longtime friend and colleague was a particularly painful chapter in his life. Tragically, Kenneth passed away on May 5, 2022, at the age of 80 from cancer. Marilyn Sokol was born on February 22, 1944, in the Bronx, New York City, USA. She portrayed Doris in Crocodile Dundee II, 1988, at the age of 44. Marilyn's career began in theater, where she gained critical acclaim for her work on Broadway and in regional productions. While her professional life flourished, her personal life faced immense challenges. Marilyn married a fellow actor, with whom she had a son. However, their marriage crumbled due to long periods of emotional neglect, and they divorced after several years. The divorce left her heartbroken, and Marilyn struggled to balance her demanding career with being a single mother. She also faced a significant health scare when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, which forced her to take a step back from her career for a period. Despite the personal losses, Marilyn made a triumphant return to the stage and screen, never letting her hardships define her. Now at 80, Marilyn continues to work in theater and television, although she no longer actively pursues film roles. Despite the challenges, she has remained resilient and is remembered for her undeniable talent. Juan Fernandez, born on December 13, 1956, played the role of Miguel in Crocodile Dundee II. At the age of 31, Juan portrayed the calculating and dangerous Miguel, a key antagonist who contributed to the intense action and suspense of the film. However, he faced difficult times early in his career, working through periods of financial instability before gaining significant recognition. On a personal level, Juan had a rocky relationship with love and family, which included a divorce that left him grappling with the emotional toll of separation. His personal challenges, including battles with depression, seemed to mirror the highs and lows of his career. While his role in Crocodile Dundee II was one of his more recognized performances, Juan's career was never quite able to reach the sustained success he had hoped for. Currently, at 67 years old, he continues to work, but the difficulties of his earlier years have left their mark on him. Gregory Jbara was born on September 28, 1961, in Westland, Michigan, USA. He played the role of young cop in Crocodile Dundee II, 1988, at the age of 26. Gregory's career began in theater, where he won a Tony Award for his performance in Billy Elliot the Musical. However, Gregory's life took a tragic turn when his mother passed away from a sudden illness while he was on tour. This loss hit him deeply, and he struggled with grief while continuing his career. Gregory also faced financial difficulties early in his career, sometimes working multiple jobs to make ends meet. His marriage to fellow actress Karen has been fraught with ups and downs, including periods of separation and therapy to work through their issues. They have 2 children, both of whom are pursuing careers in the arts. Despite these personal trials, Gregory's career has remained steady, and he continues to be a respected figure in theater and television. Now 63, Gregory has found peace in his personal life, embracing the joy of family while continuing to perform. Luis Guzman, born on August 28, 1956, played the role of Jose in Crocodile Dundee 2 at the age of 31. Known for his ability to bring depth to both comedic and dramatic roles, Luis found success in the entertainment industry. However, his personal life was marked by struggle. Growing up in a tough neighborhood, he experienced poverty and had to navigate a challenging childhood, marked by the absence of his father. In his early adulthood, Luis battled with substance abuse, which affected both his career and relationships. Though he married his wife, Audrey, they faced years of tension due to Luis's addiction issues, and their relationship ended in divorce. They have 2 children, a son and a daughter. His career had its ups and downs, with roles in hit films like Boogie Nights and Traffic, but he often struggled to land leading roles. The death of his mother was a particularly devastating moment in his life, causing a deep emotional toll. At 68, Luis remains active in Hollywood, taking roles in both television and film. Anthony Crivello, born on August 2, 1955, portrayed the subway hitman in Crocodile Dundee 2. At the age of 32, Anthony brought to life the menacing character, adding an element of intensity and danger to the film's action sequences. Growing up in a working-class neighborhood, he faced early challenges of economic hardship and a tumultuous home life. His career saw peaks and valleys, and although his role in Crocodile Dundee 2 showcased his acting abilities, he struggled with being typecast and had difficulty finding roles that matched his talents. On a personal front, his first marriage ended in divorce, and his second marriage faced its own set of problems, leaving him to deal with the emotional fallout. He is a father, but has had strained relationships with his children due to the pressures of his career and personal issues. One of the most painful chapters of Anthony's life was the loss of a close friend to a tragic accident. As of 69 years old, Anthony continues to work in theater and film, but his career has never fully lived up to its early promise. Susie Essman, born on May 31, 1955, played the role of the tour guide in Crocodile Dundee 2. At the age of 33, Susie added a much-needed spark of humor and charm to the film, bringing wit to the otherwise intense storyline. Growing up in a Jewish family in New York, she faced many of the usual obstacles for women in comedy. Despite a strong start, the early days of her career were marked by professional setbacks. In her personal life, Susie's relationships were similarly rocky. She experienced 2 marriages, both of which ended in divorce. Her first husband was a fellow comedian, but their relationship eventually fell apart due to the pressures of their careers. Although she had no children, Susie often spoke of the loneliness and isolation that accompanied her personal journey. One of the darker periods of her life came when she was publicly criticized for her comedic style, leading her to question her place in the entertainment industry. Now, at 69, she remains an active figure in comedy, using her experience to shape her craft while balancing her personal battles with newfound stability. Who is your favorite character from Crocodile Dundee? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.